Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian and welcome back to Everspace. So here we are then on a brand new run. This of course is the retail release of Everspace. It came out of early access a little while ago and straight away we're under relatively heavy fire here. Steadily losing the shield. Just trying to try and take these out as quick as I possibly can. Oh, and the shield's already out.
That was not good.
Right, and they're done. Okay, so very heavy fire, very early on. Let's see what was dropped, if anything. Right, some credits, some compound and some fuel, and I'm not particularly worried about the fuel because obviously we've got no use for it just yet.
Credits. Better value by weight.
So one thing that was removed from the retail version, as I mentioned early on, is that during the whole early access period the game come with scanner probes, and we could deploy these and they would reveal all the collectible items in each zone for us. But the guys behind the game, Rockfish, thought that was not particularly ideal, that it kind of discouraged people from exploring the zones. And I'm just looking at how awesome that area looks. I think that's something I'm going to try and take a screenshot of in a moment. Let's wait for them to fire back up again. And as we do so, of course, we're losing time in this zone because interceptors will turn up sooner rather than later. But come on, fire up, and there we go. And we can freeze frame that. And that's something I really do want to take a screenshot of. Looks really nice. There we go. Let's try from a slightly different angle as well, perhaps. Not such a good angle, but right, let's see what's around here.
Due to their extensive jump gate infrastructure.
Right, so the guy is repeating himself after each run. I'm kind of hoping that doesn't get repeated too often because it will get old quite fast. Obviously, the retail version of the game, the final released version of the game, does have cutscenes, which is something that wasn't in during the early access. But I don't fancy seeing them over and over on a never-ending loop. Do want the mineable crystal low. And there's some ore around this side. Now you'll find areas like this will have plenty of ore. It will continue to spore as the mining operatives continue to do their thing. Looks like there's a tech container around there, but it is a GMB tech container, so I'm going to leave it alone. Otherwise I'm only going to turn them against me. I don't really want them to be hostile this early on. So what else have we got? Some more mineable crystal in there. Should we go in and get it? Don't see why not. Lovely light and effects around here. I think those sort of effects really have been improved as the game has continued through development. You'd see mineable areas being deployed at various stages, but they've just seemed to improve as it's gone on, become far more extensive with greater variety of effects around them. Stumbling over my words there. So there's both the GMB containers, a bit more raw there, but I think we're done around here. What else have we got? Plasma field, and yeah, the same tech containers. Let's get the plasma then whilst we're here. It will probably come in. It'll probably come in quite useful. So all of these items that I'm collecting, if you haven't been playing Everspace just yet, will allow me to craft items. And of course, some of them, like the nanobots, will allow me to repair, which I might as well do now. I took a bit of damage on the first battle there. And as you get more damage, you will find that certain components will also become damaged. And they will then start to malfunction, and you will need to repair them to get back underway again, or to get them into a usable state. So also, down here, you can see some of the things I've collected. Some nanobots, some compound, crystal, ore, and plasma, and this will enable me to craft or upgrade various items. And I can't upgrade my Gatling gun yet. In fact, I can't upgrade any of them. You'll see a little icon next to them when you can upgrade. And here's a star map showing me where my current location is. I'm in the first zone of the first sector, and I need to travel along to the end here to get to the jump gate, which will take me to the second sector. And all of these are currently represented as an unknown risk. It's why they're blue. I can upgrade my ship scanning systems, or maybe that's my pilot's scanning systems. I can't quite remember which of the two that is. but they will then reveal to me further details of what's going on in each of these zones, and then I can choose the one that best suits my particular aims at the time. And I've got my stats and the codex. The codex contains everything you could possibly want to know about the game, such as the Okar, who are the aliens that we encounter, outlaws, which just attack us from time to time, and Gradient Brunt, or GMB, which are generally friendly throughout the whole sector. They do have resources that you may want to take from time to time, but if you do that, they will of course turn hostile against you. There's a little bit of mineable ore there. I've already got plenty of it, but seeing as we're here and seeing as there's no particular threat going on, and spoke too soon, blips on the contacts just come up, some reds, and let's see who they are right there. Outlaw scouts, but they've got themselves surrounded by a massive asteroid field here, so it's quite likely that could be defended. There might be some silos there, or some turrets. I was actually using the wrong weapons there. So as we look here, you'll find the pulse laser is better for taking down enemy shields, and then swapping to the Gatling gun to take out their hull. Some weapons don't have, some opponents don't have shields, so we can attack them straight away with the Gatling gun. So as you improve the Gatling gun though, you can use it to try and strip away their shields if they want. It's not quite as effective, but it can get increasingly effective as you take on more opponents. Now I might be covering some old ground here for those of you that have been watching this series ever since early access, but I suspect there's a bunch of new people watching ever since the game went into final release. So you may be wondering why I'm always playing in third person here. That's just my personal preference. But you can switch to an internal first person view, and you may have noticed there's no actual pilot avatar in here at the moment. I don't know if that's something that they'll add at a later date. But you can also jump into first person view without the cockpit, and straight back to third person again, and we come across our first tech container here, and we have got some beam lasers. Now beam lasers are pretty good. They're a good alternative, I think, to pulse lasers, although here they're only doing 48 DPS. I'm going to leave them. I do like beam lasers, but I prefer beam lasers rank 2, so I'm going to salvage those and we'll have the components out of them. A nice bit of scrap. Let's see what else we get. Now you may have noticed a little bit of lag on here on the graphics, a little bit of low frame rate. It seems to be a thing going on lately when I'm recording around asteroids and the sort of clouds you get around here. Haven't been able to track down what's causing it, so hopefully it's not too disturbing for you. But these asteroids are certainly much nicer than they ever were during early access. Gorgeous looking areas. So I try and keep away from them really. I don't really want you to have too many frame rate problem issues when we're all watching the videos. Back to being nice and smooth there. Let's get on out of here and head on in to the next zone of this sector then. And maybe we'll find something a little bit more interesting to collect. Some nice resources perhaps for upgrades. We'll just go for the default area there. Now some of these might be an increased risk over the other areas, but unfortunately we don't have the tools to determine that just yet. You can get natural hazards here, such as lightning storms and those sort of things. So straight away we've got some Okar fighters coming after us, and we're going to go after them. Let's try and strip his shields down. Firing them while they're out of range is not the best solution. That's one. Going to take the others down with shields, missiles rather. Trying to end this as quick as I possibly can. So they're not too much of a threat this early on. They will become an increased threat the further in we get. I've never actually made it past Sector 4, I believe, in my series just yet. So there's 5 sectors. At least there was 5 sectors during early access, and I believe that still holds true for the current release. Look at that red lighting around the asteroid over there. So again, apologies if we get in there and the frame rate drops down. It's something I'm trying to track down, haven't been able to resolve just yet, so a bit concerned with it. Oh, there's some mines there. A little bit concerned that it causes a bit of problems for viewing. Do let me know if it is too disturbing. Well, whatever's in here is well protected, isn't it? And it is a container. Oh, and it was just credits. $400 worth of credits there. Anything else in there? Some mineable ore. I think we've got enough of that for the moment. So there's a service station over there as well, but it is
Enemies in range.
quite close to the outlaw scouts. But they shouldn't be too much of a problem. Indeed, they're not. Nice to take these down because they do give me some credits as well. And some rather gorgeous explosions there. I love those effects. So what I'm going to do is head on over to the service station there and we can have a look at what that's all about. Now, they normally allow us to do repairs.
Do you know what happens in a service station?
I thought I asked the questions here.
Do you?
Refuel? Trade parts?
You're learning.
Which is what I was just about to tell you guys. So he's told you for me. So we can purchase some plasma here. Or we can swap some ore for some dark energy. Now I don't really know what that's useful for because I've never actually used dark energy just yet. Or we can buy some power cells. Let's have a quick look at what we've got here just in case there's anything we could actually use. I'm always looking to upgrade shields. It needs more scrap, which unfortunately wasn't available there, but I've got plenty of power cells and I've got plenty of crystal. So we're going to keep an eye out for scrap, and we're not going to purchase anything within the ship here. Anything else around? Some containers, but they are GMB containers belonging to the vessel, so we're not going to bother with them. Let's have a look a little bit around the asteroid field here. You never know what you may find. The mineable ore keeps coming up. Now, one thing that is nice is that the radar, the heads-up display, does have a memory. So as you locate things like that, no matter how far away you get from them after the fact, it will always remember where they were. So you can return to them and then collect them if you didn't do so the first time. And you can see there I'm running out of energy. I'm boosting a little bit too much here. It was quite a distance I wanted to cover anyway, so... Both your boost and your weapons use the same energy store, so if you keep boosting, you'll eventually not be able to fire your weapons, as what's happened here. I'm going to have to wait for that to recharge before I can collect some more ore. And I think that's it. So that looks like to be the completion of this zone. And we're now going to head towards Zone 3 in Sector 1. And you can see each time I jump it does take fuel. Now the fuel's represented by the icons up in the top right hand corner. And hopefully we can find a little bit more fuel in this zone. It's not too good if you run out of fuel because you're then stuck. You can't jump any further. And we've got these rather strange looking space rocks here. And enemy contact over there perhaps? So let's have a look at this. Looks like to be a base over here. Sometimes these are intact, sometimes they're desolate. You can fly right through them if that's the case. I want a large flying ship here.
Salvageable on this freighter?
Probably, but I would not advise it as it may draw unwanted attention.
So as per the implication there, you can attack friendly vessels or neutral vessels. And well, you can then take their whatever they got contained within them. So you can essentially make yourself a pirate. Over here, we've got fuel banks. We can destroy these and take the fuel, and they do contain quite a lot of fuel. And they go off in a very spectacular explosion, looking very impressive indeed. But I'm not so desperate that I'm going to take fuel from them just yet. Another nice touch is the ice asteroids. Quite graphically appealing, I think. Although the ice looks a little bit too wet perhaps for being space-based. It should perhaps be a little bit drier. What's going on over here? Outlaw scouts. But I love the way the light shines through the ice. Let's go over to these. Maybe we can take them on and get a little bit more... some more credits from them. Oh, nope, he's got gel. And where's the other one's gone? Oh, sneaky, I didn't see you. Okay, we got some more outlaws over there, and maybe they're protecting something, but I'm certainly not finding any resources around here, which is a bit unfortunate. Now, one thing that did seem to be true during the early access is that there was a whole ton of resources all over the place, and it was quite rare to actually go through a zone and not find any. But it seems increasingly to me that, at least during the early zones, in this final version of the game, now I keep calling it the final version, it's by no means the absolute end of development. I do believe that Rockfish are going to be putting some more development into the game. But what I mean is the retail release of the game as opposed to the...
These giant shipwrecks.
Oh, look at this.
Colonial fleet warships overwhelmed by Okar fighters during the war. You will find such wrecks scattered throughout the demilitarized zone.
You know, there were moments there.
Right, some nice fuel there.
The odds were certainly against you.
Seem to be getting that bit of graphical lag again. But plenty of resources over here. So I was speaking a little bit too soon, saying there's not many resources around, but they seem to be much better placed now. Rather than randomly placed, they're placed in areas you'd perhaps expect to find them, such as a shipwreck here, which was being protected by those outlaws. Got a nice chunk of resources there then. So that certainly adds to both the ambience as well as the immersion of the game, and it adds a bit of gameplay to the whole proceedings as well, which is quite nice. Oh look, some shield breaker missiles. Now I don't really want them, I actually prefer the missiles I've got, but they will make for some good salvage, and hopefully they'll give me some scrap so long as I press the right button. Yep, we've got some scrap, so hopefully we should have now enough to upgrade my shield. Nope, we're still short. And we can tell that straight away because I don't have the little arrow upgrade icon there. But I wanted to see how many we actually need. So 4 more scrap before we can upgrade the shield. But the shield is holding for now. But I've taken a little bit of hull damage in the meantime. Let's go get that plasma as well, I guess. So I always recommend picking up as many resources as you possibly can whilst you're in any area, because you never know when you're going to need them, and there's always a possibility that sooner or later you won't be able to get them when you do need them, so be prepared. And that's it. So we can now head towards the final zone of this sector, which will contain the jump gate, and the jump gate will carry us to sector 2. There we go. And you can see down the bottom, we're slowly building up our stock of resources. So there's the dark matter I could have picked up earlier, and I perhaps should have traded that, because that is perhaps one of the rarest things you can actually find. I don't have any access keys, but all the others you come across quite often, although processors are sometimes hard to find. Oh well, we're here now. I didn't take it when I had the chance, so we'll just have to make do. So what have we got here? Now there's a jump gate, but we're not going to go to that just yet, and I do want to have a look at what's around here. I'm going to head over to this big cluster of asteroids here. There is an Okar fighter over there, but he seems to be on his own. And it looks like he's noticed me. Oh, what have we got over there? Some turrets.
What else can you tell me about this end of the galaxy?
Cluster 34, also known as the Beltagrades, a group of systems approximately 1,000 light-years from the Sol system. Mapped to precision in the 24th century, but unexplored by colonials until the 30th. Demarcation lines between colonial and native Okar interests are still in dispute.
A nice bit of lore then. Oh, hit the asteroid there. Right, now this was quite well protected really, considering there was both 2 turrets here as well as a fighter, but I don't see any resources around here that would have warranted that level of protection. What do we got over there? A bit of mineable ore, but that's 6.2 kilometers away. Oh no, there we are, we've got a tech container. So more contacts coming in, but I'm going to try and get whatever's in here first, and it will probably be, I was going to say it'd probably be a module, but it was some nanos, but nanobots are always welcome because they do allow me to conduct repairs which become essential. Right, so a bit of fuel and a pulse laser, I do believe. Unfortunately, it's not a Mark II pulse laser, so it's only the same as what I've got, which means I'm going to scrap it. Or salvage it rather, but that gives me enough scrap to do the shield upgrades that I want to do. Once we've taken these ones out of the picture. We don't want that beam hitting us because that does strip down the shield very, very fast. Right, let's see. So as you see, we got the upgrade icon there. We can upgrade the pulse laser, the Gatling gun. We can construct some new light missiles as well, but I really want to upgrade my shield. But let's see if we can build anything new first. Nope. Well, let's upgrade then. So it's the shield capacity mod version 1. Unfortunately, we can't add another one in. But you can see now we've got a shield plus, and that can go a shield plus plus as well. But we're going to need more resources before we can do that. And unfortunately, the resources I've used for that have also prevented me from upgrading the other items. So for now, at least, it's a choice. Later on, you can purchase enough perks, and the perks you purchase back at the hangar. And some of these perks will allow you to begin each run with a number of resources, which means you can get to constructing enhancements straight away. So that's something I'm going to be ploughing perk points into a bit later for sure. So let's have a look here then. We're going to jump through the jump gate here and see where we end up. Sector 2, what's it going to look like? Sector 1, of course, was entirely black. Lovely, gorgeous area of space. And Sector 2 is also black, but certainly filled with a lot more asteroids. Right. As well as filled with a lot more contacts as well. Oh, this is new. And we've made an unlock. Good stuff. So let's have a bit of an explore around here. I could hear something there. Don't know if you can hear that. Sort of like a hissing engine sound. But I can't see where it's coming from. So let's go over to this first big cluster here. Doesn't seem to be too much around, does there? Plenty of mineable ore. I don't really want any more mineable ore. What I want are containers. Containers with upgrades in, preferably. Well, we're right near the mineable ore now anyway, so I'm going to take that. Oops, more plasma. Now the area certainly seems quite bereft of anything I'd actually want to collect. That kind of encourages me to want to just keep jumping to the next sector, to the next sector, to the next sector. But the trouble is with doing that, you'll eventually come across enemies that are far too powerful for us. Another transport vessel. I did see something over there. More mineable gas. I thought I was going to say mineable ore. Well, I will take that, because that's a little bit different, and there's something lit up over there, so it's artificial lighting over there. Man-made lighting, as it were. So once I've got the mineable gas... Once I've got the mineable gas, I'm going to go over and check out this. Doesn't appear to be hostile, at least from this distance, but I'm going to... Oh, no. I was going to say I was going to allow my weapons to recharge before I got any closer, but I left it a little bit too late. Right, we're getting short on missiles, so I will need to try and construct some more soon. We've got 2 containers here, and hopefully no more turrets, so... Okay, we're doing alright. Nothing else around here, though. So I just see something else. A freighter wreck.
A freighter requires assistance in extracting itself from a minefield. A credit reward for your services has been offered.
Well, I don't see what sort of assistance this would require, as it's been completely destroyed. Clear out the mines near the target. Come on, because I want to get rid of you before the... Who's that laser guy?
Why does this vessel appear with a skull?
This is to highlight a superior fighter. It will be harder to take down.
We'll have to see about that.
Yeah, we're going to build a few more missiles for taking him down. Unfortunately, I can only do 2 though. I was hoping to be able to a few more than that. And he's gone. Giving us a nice chunk of credits in the process. What else we got there? Right, now if you do hang around in a particular sector for too long... Oh, got an access key. Fantastic. We might need that later on. So now it's telling me to clear the mines here, but I assume that that's for something else, because I don't see any mines around here, and this freighter is clearly totally destroyed. So we're going to open up his containers. And they don't seem to be carrying anything of much use. Oh, what's this? Damage limiter blueprint. Excellent. Alright, so the mission's over here. Near the star. Let's hope I've got enough time to do this. So I'm going to have to be a little bit careful here, because if I get too close to the mines, they will detonate. And more often than not, one mine will take another mine with it. Good so far though. No hostiles inbound, and I haven't managed to hit a mine. 2 more left by the looks of it. Did I just do some friendly fire there?
A payment has been deposited with you by way of reward for your assistance.
Look at that, 2,000 credits. Now, you do get a reward for hitting 10,000 credits in a single run, and on top of that, it does unlock another ship. So we're getting close. If I can to get to 10,000, I will then be able to unlock either the scout ship, I believe, or the gunship. Okay. So that's looking like it might just about be everything. I'm going to have a look in this little group of asteroids over here, and then we'll head on over to the next zone, I think. Oh, Okar forces inbound, so we're going to go. They're more trouble than they're worth at this point. Okay then, head into Zone 2, Sector 2, and I think that is as good a place as any to leave it. And we'll jump straight in there, and I think we'll bring this video to an end. Oh no, we got some gorgeous visuals here. Just look at that. Stunning area. Let's have a quick freeze frame of that. I'm a sucker for that sort of stuff. Where's the best angle? That's pretty good. Let's get a little bit closer there then. And there we go, another screenshot. Right then, we'll pick up from here in the next video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.